as we have still Friday. Yesterday, we were here on these very airwaves, or on this very channel, saying that this candle is the best opportunity for us to have a nice pump. I talked about a 15% possibility just on this candle alone potential. And I mean, some of them got out to 8 to 10%. The only outlier I talked about that, be careful, and I told Define not to be mad at me, is I talked about XDC and said it wouldn't go up with the rest of them. And it's not that I'm a wizard, it's just it usually runs opposite, and it was building up somewhat of a rising wedge-ish formation is all. So there's that potential that it could fall out. Doesn't mean it has to fall all the way, but it had to at least back test a 20-day here. So I thought it could be a little red compared to the rest. XRP's pushing it out. We talked about if it could get over $3.06 if you're new, it would have nothing in between up to $3.28. And long and behold, one straight shot up. The settlement or the case, you've been hearing that it's over. From everything that I can see, it seems legit. As not just Ripple abandoned the appeal, but so did the SEC. So this is a very, very big development. I mean, if you want to talk about the charts predicting the news to come, the way it was set up in the charts and the way that they backhanded everybody right before the push up, we got clear validation before last night's candle. We got clear validation before the candle, and we talked about it. And we talked about it, that's a good buying opportunity because we have ours down underneath support. And it was just a moment of opportunity. Talked about in the Telegram, talked about it in here. And you know, it's one of those things. We talked about the drawdown risk. And I'm very happy where I'm at right now, positioning wise. Like I went over 40,000 IOTA, 30,000 algo, over 20,000 XLM. You know, XDC, nothing right now. HBAR, 20,000 plus. And then I'm not going to keep saying the numbers. I don't want to talk like that. But this whole page, besides ZBCN and Quant, but I'll be honest, Shane, I'm looking at Quant right now as being behind as well. So if we're in these markets, right now Quant on this push should push up to about 153. There's a very real chance I might rotate some profits in. Because I'm starting to turn into some heavy profits on some of my less talked about trading styles. And they're coming into several $1,000s in profit right now. So easy. And right now, I can turn some of that loose on Quant. Depending on Ethereum, and now that we got over 3,860, our short target to push more bullish is 3,994. This is absolutely spectacular right now. We are printing money. And we're going to continue to print money as long as this continues to push like this. And this is going to be something spectacular. We know the targets on Ethereum, if it plays bullish completely, is 7,061. We have two micro levels, 3,994, and there's 4,186 approximately. I don't know where it went. That was a micro consolidation breakout target. But we need to acknowledge that 4,100. I know it's just a micro level. But this is basically the last area that could stop us and force us into a further consolidation back down. But if we get past there, it might be a little bit higher. Nope, because that's what would get us up to 4,800, because then it's a clean shot up there. And that's literally the last stand for any kind of resistance. If we end up pouring out of here, my dear Lord. My dear Lord. Just telling you guys, this cycle, and we've talked about this, for anybody new, this cycle, this alt season, when it actually happens, it's not going to be like 2021. This alt season is going to melt your dick off. No offense to the sensitive out there. But it's literally going to melt your dick off. It's going to be like 2017 on steroids. Well, not on steroids, but on repeat. Different fashion. It might even be on steroids. Because I'm going to argue with some of you that because of how cheap some of these are, like IOTA, once it has this push up and it fulfills this, and it will, this alt season it's going to melt your dick off. That's all I can say. You're going to have to buy prosthesis. You know, it's going to. XRP right now, the market cap's up 10 freaking percent. 10 freaking percent, approaching $200 billion. Remember when I said you can't sell XRP? Your bag from 34 cents because it does you no good. You believe me now? That's why you build other bags, like when it goes to 38 or if it would have went to 50 and you decide, you build other bags to trade. Never trade the bag that you mean to hold. I personally believe that. And this is going to be a spectacular event once XRP and our altcoins. And yeah, could I sell XRP and put it into something else and it might do better? I could probably do it 10 times out of 10 with some of the tokens that I know. Only because of where it's at. But that doesn't mean I'm going to do it. There's a certain stipulation. There's a certain code. You know what the code is? Come with the one who brought you to the party. Stay with the one that brought you to the party. Even if you look outside, stay with the one who brought you to the party. And for me, the one who brought me to the party is XRP, and I'll never abandon it. I have a special relationship at 34 cents that I'll never let go of. But XRP brought me to the party, and I'll take it to the grave if it goes to zero. It allowed me to be in the party with all of you, learn all of these alt tokens, learn the ISO and the IoT to a finite amount level, but it brought me to the dance. I'm sure as hell not going to bail on it now that I'm in the dance and cooking. I got enough leverage to bring it with me, even if it doesn't do what the rest do. It brought me to the dance. Does that make sense? Stick with what you know. And we know XRP, XLM, XDC. We know the difference in rotations. It's kind of like how I always tell you guys, and we've heard this very famously from a few people in our times, but we're favored by God. We've been given the enlightenment. Maybe the enlightenment happened when you came into this community and you started to not just talk to me, but other people who understand. But being favored by God, that means you're always going to have the temptation of the devil. Which means if you're favored by God, you're favored by the devil. And I think the one who said it the most clearly was Mike Tyson. And he scared the crap out of the guy he was talking to because the guy thought about it and you could tell maybe he hadn't done stuff that he should have. So stay on the road to abundance for all and not abundance for I. And look yourself in the mirror, because what comes next, if you're a prick now and you have abundance, man, are you going to be one piece of shit to be around later. But if you have a gold heart and you want to help create abundance, you're going to be able to turn not the world around, but the community around you, you're going to be able to turn around. You can't aim for the whole world. All you can aim for is if you live in the state of Mississippi, or let's see, you live in the state of Idaho and you're in Boise, Idaho, you can only try to help your community of Boise, Idaho. You to try to reach and try to help Michigan or Canada or fucking England or China. It's not going to happen. You're going to try to create abundance within Boise. Make the people of Idaho have more abundance. Make your city be more prosperous. That kind of thing. Maybe create a station or create a social media following, but push the right message and don't piggyback off of them for funds. Allow you all to create the abundance together. So that's what I mean. So here we go. I always go serious in times. In times like this, I just want people to understand, because we're going to get to an abundant moment. And it's not going to be like 2021 where like, oh my God, we've got $18,000 all of a sudden. It's going to be more like, oh my God, we've got $700,000. What are we going to do now? You know, we're going to get to that moment, or $400,000 all of a sudden. And you're going to sit there and go, oh boy, this is a little different than 40. Because, you know, in 21, I only invested about 5K. You know, now it's like 50. So, or 45 or 40. So if you think about it, you know, the abundance comes a lot quicker. At 10%, like these moves already made me $4,000. And then some of them made a little bit, you know, on the other side of town that I don't talk about. Those have made a good amount. But then this doesn't even count our precious metals. We're cooking here. I know some of you sent me thank you messages. I'm just glad some of you listened with Heckler Mining. We talked about it when it was at 584 just like 4 days ago. And I said, this is outrageous. This is the single largest silver producer in the USA. They're going to cook. I mean, that's such a steal. And I talked earlier about Fortuna when it was down 11.3% that I bought $1,000 more. I already had $8,000 in it. It's up, but since I bought it, a great amount. But I'm like, down 12% on earnings. This is good. I'll take every 12% drop I can get and eat it alive. That's the point of investing and understanding your company. Pan America Silver's at a 52-week high. Did amazing in earnings. B2 Gold has earnings today. Obviously, it didn't work out so well. If it's down 3% in after hours, I'm going to say it might not have worked out so well. Something's cooking. That's okay by me. If it doesn't have a good earnings and we have to wait until the last quarter of the year, oh my God. The longer they hold out from pulling this gold and silver out of the ground, the higher it's going to go. But yeah, so it's been cooking on all cylinders. So, you know, now we have to see how this ends. So we have 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when this candle is going to close. And for XRP, it would be magnificent if it closed over $3.28. I mean, you're literally going to open the door to magnificent runs here. And you see this big W reversal that is now very clear. That's what we speculated before. If this pans out, you're talking about getting to that $5.49 level. It's going to kick you in the nuts if you're not in. If you've been a naysayer of XRP, this is the move that's going to make you put your head through the wall. Because now that $3,500 that we had bought in on, after this move, it's going to be worth $42,000. You see how it starts cooking now? To get from 33,000 or 32,000 to 42, so 10 grand, and it's only going to take a 28% move in today's terms. That's the crazy part. This is essentially a 3x for us, that move. Not on the total portfolio, but on the portfolio, if you average it at the 34-cent average, and then you multiply it, this is like a 3x move from 34 cents because it's a 94-cent move. This is where the portfolio can start to go out of control. And I'm telling you, I've been in some when I bought them at 30, 40 cents, and they start approaching that $8 to $10 range. The best I ever did was one was like 17 cents. And it was a speculative, stupid oil exploration company. And I only had a couple hundred, maybe $400 in it. And they struck oil. Like, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. And they got bought out by a much bigger company. And when they got bought out, that thing went from 17 cents. And over a period of like 2.5 months, went to like $8. And like by 7:15, I'm like, I'm out. And it's not that I didn't want to hold, but you could see the bubble forming. And then it turned out that it did okay, but they never hit another mine again. Like another huge hit after they bought this out. So whoever that exploration company was back then, they hit a home run. Somebody bought them out like IPO style, or like not IPO, but shit, what's the name of it? Merger and acquisition. And they never struck anything big again, but this thing fucking went nuts. I've seen this happen before. That's why I can't wait for the move to 10 to 20, because it will happen at least once. I firmly believe that. And then XLM, it's the same deal, though. Like, you're going to make the same amount of money on XLM. It follows XRP. I think everybody realizes when we have news, sometimes XLM outperforms it because it's so backed up. But, like, XRP up 9.1, XLM's like, okay, 8.5. XDC's like, you know, you might want to pay attention to me because this is news we weren't paying attention to. So, yeah, I think this could turn around quicker, honestly, for XDC now. Because of this news, this should be a good sign, but we have to get the validation now because we just want to make sure we don't invalidate here, and then we might have to come farther down. But right now, technically, if I was looking at this because of the news, I would pay very close attention to the pullback in the 30-minute. And the moment it gets back over 9.36, all game on. Game on. Once you get back into that setup. You just want to make sure you don't fall for this ride, but because of what's happened, I tend to argue that you have to put more of an emphasis to watch this because there could be a lateral movement now because of some great news for XRP, and then it could have the domino effect. And, you know, by association, a lot of people are going to look at it and say, oh, XDC's down 1.48%. This is great. Another association people are going to make, ooh, XRP's 3 whatever. XRP Healthcare is at 5.8 cents. It's going to happen again. Remember what happened in the bear market? Once it started pumping, I'm telling you right now, do not sleep on this token, please. Don't sleep on this token, because when it happens, this is going to melt your hair off. Like, when this happens, you're going to sit there and go, I made how much money on how much, bada, bing, boo. You know, so it's going to be quite impressive. Did I do the intro yet? I highly doubt I did. I came in hot tonight, in a good way. But let me get to some of these donations before I forget. Easy, welcome, and Alec Tony, welcome, and thanks for reading times on 3+ months with the XP Media, along with Frankie Fresh. Janine, welcome, watching there with Frankie Fresh. Love seeing you both of you. And the Fine Group, thanks also for being in town on 3+ months of the XP Media with Alec Tony and Frankie Fresh and being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Says, oh yeah, baby, let's fucking go. Hit that like for the best technical analysis on YouTube. Now is the most important time to join the Telegram. Yes, please, guys. Join the Telegram. You get exclusive access. So you got to join Tom's Army. It's on. You got to go to YouTube to join Tom's Army. I'm sorry I can't show you the link because people are splicing it. That's how cheesy some people are. Join Tom's Army. I've been a member for 50 months. We had to put stipulations in place after we got to about 375 members because people were trying to scam our own community, which is not cool. So join Tom's Army. And if you decide to cancel it after a month, you know, so be it. I encourage you to stay in tune. Since I do this all for free since March 24th of 2021, I've never missed a day either. I don't have any paywalls. And then you just go into the post section and you'll be able to find the Telegram. I'm not going to click on it because, like I said, people are scammers and it sucks. But I've been talking about this lady, about the slowly integrating, the integration with AI, and she's really smart, that Alice lady. She knows a lot. She's from the Asian culture. But she's very informative about the AI integrations. It's pretty interesting. I'm not just talking about crypto. I'm talking about AI integration into like products and the smart contracts and the smart utility. There's a lot of stuff going on that she's... We got some smart people, ladies and gentlemen, in this community. Let's just put it that way. So... We could do the spotlight. We've got the content links in case you don't know. A lot of people say, hey, Tom, I can't find you on YouTube. We got the content links and all this. We got group trading setups for when we see setups. The most important thing is the pager X. Like yesterday, if you were just watching, I talked about the opportunity at 2:09 p.m. last night because we had a setup to where we had a back test that we had already hit and we knew our support structure. And then I just said, it's the opportunity. It was the opportunity, we got that validation, and now things are up 10, 12, 15% depending on token. IOTA starting to move a little bit up 5.5%. Algo's up 7.3% here all of a sudden. HBAR's up 5.2%. Band's up 5.4%. Mira, I know you love Dent, and I'm in it with you, 5 million strong. Tokens, 5.2% up. VeChain's up 3.4 and lagging behind with Zill, both up 3.5. Alchemy Pay's lagging behind along with Axelar, in my opinion. MXC, what did I end up holding total? I took a little bit of profit because it was some money that I had set to the side that I wanted to cash out because I wanted to pay myself a little bit of a boom boom for all the success that we've had in the market. So I had to pay myself, and I put it into mining stocks from yesterday. When I seen Fortuna Silvermine break, MXC was up 14%, and I sold that, and I took out 2 million tokens because I wanted 3.222 million, as you know. I put a little extra in, and it paid off a little bit, not much because of the fee on crypto.com, but I took that money, I took it out, sent it to BITUNIX, which is so stupid, bought Bitcoin, sent it over to Cash App, paid the $40 fee to sell it or whatever it was on Cash App. Then I sent that money over. I sent $1,300 over to my bank account, put 1,100 of it on, or 1,086 onto my trading app, JP Morgan trading app, and bought Fortuna Silvermines when it was down 11.3%. Added to my position. I already had 1,222 plus shares. So I don't know how many more shares, about 100 and something. So I probably got like 1,300. Or 400. I look for opportunity. It's not just crypto. Like, this is what I do. I'm not a financial advisor, and if you are watching this, this is for entertainment purposes only. I only tell you what I do personally because I think it can really help everybody else. Gold's over 3,400 right now, but you got to make up your own mind. And then I got to read something in Define. Told me to in Define. I'm going to read exactly how you wrote it. Because he's got a way with words, and it's something that's been going on in the community, and since he's my... You know, when we have, we've got a few lines of defense in the Telegram. Let me pull this up. But, you know, we've got Define, he's our compliance agent, and he brings up, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to read what he said from me, created by him. He created a nice way of saying it. So this is an urgent warning, everybody, if you're watching. With 179 people in here, I feel the need to say it. Me, XRP Future Millionaire. I will never contact you directly asking for money, crypto, personal information like seed phrase, or any investment opportunities, including copy trading or fund deposits. Scammers are getting more sophisticated every day, so it is crucial that you remain vigilant and protect your assets at all times. And to show you why I have to say this today, look what another splice that comes through. And this is what people are doing with me, my own image. And I mean, if you know me, you would know this isn't me, but if you don't, listen to this.
Among the random people, I decided to reach out to you. Hello, friend. You are lucky to be among the random people. I decided to reach out to you today to know how trading has been. Hello, friend.
So people are actually using my image and my likeness and doing stuff like that as well. Now, if you get scammed by that, you don't watch me enough, but still, it can happen. So, let's see. If someone reaches out to you unexpectedly, assume it's a scam. Always verify through our official channel. Stay safe and alert. And then just to add a little bit to it, if you're trying to send money to somebody because you're like, oh, Tom copy trades and they had success. Well, we're not doing it now, but if we were, the money stays on your BITUNIX account. It's just allocated to the copy trade. It's your account. You can sell and pull it out whenever you want back into your regular trading funds. I have no control over it. These scammers splice what I do, and then they say, oh, send it to me so I can manage your copy trade portfolio. I don't manage your assets. I might be the asset manager if you allow me to do the copy trading, and we had like $137,000, assets under management, technically, AUM. But that's not because I'm an asset manager, nor did I ever personally have any stake in it. It was just putting into the trades your money would be put in automatically. But I have no way of holding it. There's no way to keep it. You wouldn't send it to me. I wouldn't know your wallet address. I don't even know who you are. I only know that it says this person with the last 4 letters of their email address. So I don't even know the whole email address, just the last 4 and then whichever company it is. So I will never do that. I never reach out to people for that fact. Because I don't want... Once we start talking, I have no problem sending you messages. I talk to Defined every day. Honestly, Nick, I don't even think we've ever talked through a message. We talk on the local channels, like the most, but, it's just, that's the point. I don't reach out to anybody. I don't need your money. I have more money than I know what to do with, and I don't even have as much as most people. It's just for the way I live, all of this is gravy. Like, once this starts happening, and it gets to a point where you're like, oh my God. And then you just keep reinvesting, and then all of a sudden you look at your reinvestments, you're like, wait a minute, how much is in this account? And then you just have to take a breath sometimes. So I'm trying to create abundance with all of you, not for myself. And it's always been the goal here. So let's continue. I got to get to some of these donations, so I'm sorry if I skip you, but there's a few donations, and I don't want them to disappear. Joseph Euler, thank you for being in town for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. And also the very generous donation of $20 on top of the 6 months plus. Wow, Joseph, thank you so much. What's a good stop loss for XRP? I'm not looking at a stop loss on XRP. If you're looking for if this falls out, if we get rejected at 328 and somehow we find ourselves under 306, not really that good of an opportunity, like not great. But with what's happening, I'm not looking at stop losses here. If we're breaking into alt season and we get the confirmation, it's in the micro, we're starting to get that confirmation. If it meets up with the macro, look out. We could front run the end of the year and it would be, sometimes it's what better timing because September's typically the most bearish month. What if we do have a stellar August into September and then all of a sudden that's when we start to have correction? Maybe August is going to be stellar. We'll see. It's starting off good right now. Let's see. Let me get to the other donations real quick. And a new member of Tom's Army, a $50 donation. Holy smokes. Are you serious? That's between that $20 donation I just got from Joseph Euler and now that's crazy. That equals the amount of donations on the super chats, I think, in the last week or so, which honestly, I'm just what's happening right now is crazy. But I appreciate the generosity and the pay it forward mentality. And you've already been in Tom's Army 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Says, appreciate you, Tom. So grateful to have found you in this community. I've been so busy recently, but try to catch up when I can. I hope at least in the Telegram, by me just doing that daily setup every morning when I'm at the gym working out, because I always work out at like 7 to 9. I usually work out 7 to 7:30, but the last couple of days I got there at like 8:39 because I was up later with my son. But I always have that set up, and I try to do a 60-second short every single morning early, so that even when people don't have time to watch the lives or the updates, if I do them in an update fashion, but I've been doing more lives in the summer. I try to make it to where it's easier for you guys to see. I'm trying to incorporate it in that sense to make it easier for everybody. Syrian, welcome in, and thanks for being a very trusted mod. You are awesome. Not just in here for the Telegram as well as in Tom's Army for over 1 year with Bob Burtner. I appreciate that. Like I said, I don't mean to skip anybody, but I moved down here because of all of the donations that would disappear eventually. Bob Burtner and Kryptonian, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Jungle Boogie, thank you, and for being in this great community and being in here. I have seen you so many times now. I like saying that name. But will you take a shot of limoncello with me? Hey, that's a nice Italian flavoring. Of course I would. I think I would. I'm going to have to get some. I don't have any in the house, but one day I'm going to have it. I'm going to be like, Jungle, I've got it. Limoncello. I actually had something flavored like that when we were in Grand Rapids. Not bad. G-Stot, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And thank you, Nazar, for making me the happiest person in the world today joining Tom's Army. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the Telegram. If you want to, go to my homepage on YouTube, just like I'm showing you. Click the top left Tom's Army emote, and then you're going to go into the post. I can't click on the post because if I do, someone's going to scam us and try to spoof us and, you know, spoof the Telegram. So just click on the post, and 2 down is the Telegram link. Is the Telegram link, my friend. And you will be more than welcome to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share the Telegram link with my phone. And if you want to trade on BITUNIX and things like that, I encourage you with the lowest spot and leverage trading fees. They have fire blocks. If you don't know what that is, that's a custodian that looks after your funds. And it's just something, if you're afraid of your security, you have to make sure. That's a big thing for an exchange. A big, big thing. Did Ethereum really just push over 3,900? Let's go, baby, if that's the case. I just got an alert on my phone. That is unbelievable. I'm sorry, I get so excited here. Not just excited excited for all of us. Because every single person got the buy signal yesterday before they started cooking up. When it was on a downturn. And I said, oh my God. Oh my God. But, you know, we don't know what's going to happen here. But let me share this real quick so that our newest member, I'm going to share it to the members only of Tom's Army. I can do that. See, I have that ability. So I got the link. I'm going to click on post. I'm going to create a post. It's just going to have the link, and it's going to be for members of Tom's Army only. So Tom's Army or higher. And I'm proud to say, in there, I just shared it. So you guys should get that if you're part of Tom's Army. Even if you're not in the Telegram, you're going to get that. Assuming YouTube does its job. But the cool thing is I sent out Steven. Steven's in Tom's Army, but he's in the legendary status. He pays $99.99 for, I think, his second or third month now. His XRP token is showing up to his house. The one showing up on the 9th. And the other one showing up on the 26th. I don't remember which one is showing up when, but one of them is behind like a special plaque and stuff. Or like a special covering. But they're 2 different tokens. I wanted to send it specifically from my house, but I had to send it from Amazon because we've been busy with my son. He's special needs. But I wanted to get those out there. Just something I do for anybody who ever takes the time to do that. And he sent me his address, so I'm just glad to send it. It's like a little bond. It's like a little bond. And every month I'll send another one. If you remind me that you're part of it, I'm going to send you different ones. The ones that I own, too. You know, they're pretty cool, too. They're really cool. Especially the one I'm sending you. It's got a lot of detail. Anyhow, let's continue. Brian Crow, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Love it. Thank you, sir. We're cooking. We are a-cooking. We are a-cooking. It's getting hot in here. Are you sweating? Whew. I'm not actually sweating though. Make XRP great again. Welcome. And oh, we got to talk about the settlement or the end of the lawsuit as well, guys. We got to talk about this. We will. Mosey here. Welcome and thanks for being in Town Zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Brian Crow, good evening, along with Crypto Ace. Thank you both for being in Town Zone for the first month with the emoji badge. Me being abducted by aliens. That is my face superimposed on that emoji badge. I kid you not. And guys, I'm going to show you. My hair, if you don't think it's long, I'm going to show you today. See this? I have not cut my hair since July 8th of 2023 was the last time I cut my hair. So if you don't think it's long, people are like, Tom cut his hair. Oh, I can assure you, I did not cut my hair. My mom, it freaks her out because she thinks I look like her daughter now. And I don't blame her. Fucking nuts. I wanted to show everybody. 215 people, you got to see my hair for the first time in how long? I know it's deceiving that it looks short when I put it back in this pony, but I can assure you my hair is long as shit. It's craziness. It's awesome though. It's all for the community, of course. All for the community. But I'll never cut my hair again. It's the abundance of style. Johnny Styles, welcome in. Case is over. Hence the bounce. Interesting that you think it's just because of the case. Is it because the case is over or because the chart dictated it? The case is over, but XLM went up 9%. The case is over, but we've got other things like XLM or Algo up 8%. You know, MXC's up 11%. But yes, I agree. It helped. You know, but I think they just used this part of the pattern to release the news of the case. It's convenient. We talked about this pump. I didn't know the case was going to be settled yesterday, but we knew there was going to be a pump yesterday based on where the pressure was built on the pattern. And we also knew that from 306, if it broke it, there was nothing until 328, and hence where we're at. But yes, the case was settled. Or not settled, it's over. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. I'm just trying to catch up in the comments, giving all the information I can in real time. It's all an illusion. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months. And the $10 donation, unbelievably generous from this audience this evening. They always come through when we're pumping. Told you the pay it forward mentality. It doesn't mean it's every day. But when the time is right, people do pay it forward at an abundance level. To where I don't have to charge anything. It's what we do. It's just special. Just special. AUWX, thank you so much for the $9.99 donation. Giga Chad, Tom. Oh, excellent. Giga Chad. Now I know who you are, AUWX. Excellent. Been around for a long time. And thank you for the $9.99 donation. Says, we appreciate you. Or he says, Tom, we appreciate you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you too. I really do. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first, over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. The Fine Group says, who's going to work tomorrow? It's going to be an interesting night. We'll see how this daily candle, when it flips, what happens at 8 o'clock, but it could be fire. It could be fire. The Gatman, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. My man. My man. CJ2 Pilot, over 1 year in Tom's Army with the I Told You So badge. Excellent with Syrian, a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Crypto Scrooge says, I still got the XRP coin that you sent me, Tom. I sent him that amongst the first people I ever sent. I did a special thing. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it, but before I got paid subscribers, anybody who had ever sent me a Cash App in my first 2 months on YouTube, because I got lucky. Oh, not lucky, maybe because of my message, but after 2.5 weeks, I made partner on YouTube after my first video. 4.5 weeks after that, I got offered paid subscribers, and 2 weeks after that, they got integrated because there's a process. But anybody who sent me a Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, mainly Cash App or PayPal at the time, before I got paid memberships, and there was only like, I don't know, there was 100 and something donations from like 60 something different people. I sent a token out to every single one of the 60 something people. It cost me like $1,100 or $1,200. Less than what the donations were. But I sent it to everybody. I still have the saved addresses on my Amazon shipping thing because some people were out of country, so I couldn't just send it from my house. So that was a big thing because we were going through the blah, blah, blah with the shutdowns and the lockdowns and all that crap. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm so glad you have that crypto, Scrooge. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge. And nobody can ever take those memories away from us. Flow, yes, Ethereum is moving pretty nicely right now. Alec Tony, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. And also sends a $9.99 donation. Says Tommy Guns. I love it. Tommy Gun. Yes. In my father's kitchen, Proverbs 11:25 AMP 25. The generous man is a source of blessing and shall be prosperous and enriched. And he who waters will himself be watered, reaping the generosity he has sown. Amen to that. And thank you for pushing a message from our Lord and Savior, Yahweh and Yeshua and God himself, because that message that you shared out of Proverbs is absolutely stellar. And I can't help but believe it's trying to tell us something else, because it's a token that for some reason is not on my list. And I would argue that this probably hasn't moved yet because it likes to do it outside, opposite of the market. But I have no way of knowing this. Yes. The gift from God right now is AMP. The gift from God right now is AMP. And yes, I love that Proverbs, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's convenient. Not convenient, it's astounding that you chose that exact one. And now we have to do something. I have to do something. Because I forgot about AMP, and I would have been sick to my stomach had I not bought it back. And it's only moved 1% today. You sent that message at legitimately the best time of all times. I'm being serious. I know some people in this audience, but remember, when more than one person speaks the name of our Lord and Savior, God becomes present in our actions. Yahweh is amongst us. The spirit of Yeshua. It's a pretty strong thing, folks. It really is. I don't know if you guys can feel the spirit, but I can feel the spirit in here daily. And that's good enough for me. It really is. It's good enough for me. Fuck. The other one I forgot to mention is that I actually bought some ADA when it was dropped. Now, I didn't buy 10,000 of them because I'm not going to drop 8 grand on it. But I think I bought 5,000. It was like 4 grand or so. But yeah, that was one that I actually, because of it being part of the ISO and being so undervalued in comparison to the others, it's like, but I got to do this real quick. I'm sorry. I'm wasting your time right now. But this is actually something that I have to do. I can't not do it. It's crazy to me that I forgot about this, but in my gut I knew that it hadn't done anything yet. In my gut I knew that it hadn't done anything. Just because it usually doesn't do it right away. So AMP. And it is on BITUNIX. This is not financial advice. Nor should you buy just because I am. By no means should you buy just because I am. Because if you do that, you're already set for failure. Because if it's not a position you want, it doesn't matter what it does. You're going to hate it no matter what. So please, 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 this is for entertainment purposes only. You just happen to be watching me when I have to do this. If I wasn't on the air, you wouldn't see me do this. But I am on the air. Message received from our Lord and Savior himself. My own personal message, because it's part of my narrative of what I want to own. And I'm very happy about this. Oh, I am very happy about this. You better believe I am very happy about this. And I can make this happen. I can make this happen. I can make this happen. This is why I get excited about gains made when things start and being in it before, because then when you have opportunity, you can say, well, I've got all of this sitting here from profit. Let's just move it into where it needs to go now, Tom. You know what you got to do, and I just did it. So all set. I got 1.277 million. Oh boy. $4,656 worth. For better or worse. But obviously if it breaks down and it's below this this setup right here, well, we got to go back to fishing. We don't want this to break down. What I'm looking for is to come up here with the rest of the market here at some point. But anyhow, not going to focus on that because that's my own personal thing that I like to do. I don't expect anybody to follow in those footsteps. Those are some steep and deep footsteps. Old Vincenzo's a fan of that one, and as you guys know, I like to ride that one with Old Vincenzo. Up 12%. Is it really? Didn't say 12%, it said 1%. Did everything just jump? No. Hold on. Maybe it was up more. No, I was going to say, what the hell was that chart? All right, that's better. I was going to say 14%. Did something just happen on a chart somewhere? This needs to be down here. Quant's on the bottom. ZBCN's below that. Band needs to be like in the middle. Dense like here. There's reasons why Axlar goes down here. Although this should be on the other page with XRPH and the other smaller one. So I'll put that on the other page. But AMP, I like it. I like where we're at. It's undervalued right now. I'm going to have to redo that. I'm going to redo that whole damn chart. Not tonight because we're going to run out of time, but I'm going to redo that whole damn chart with you guys tomorrow. So yeah, look at the outliers of things that might not have been doing anything. Everything's moving up very nicely right now. XRP's up 10.7%. XLM's up 9.4. HBAR's up 5.8. Looking real nice here. Looks like we're going to pull this out, and these are inverse head and shoulders with bull flags like we've been thinking. Now that it held the validation, this should bring it up to 34 cents. Look at XRP over $3.30. If it was Jim Carrey and when the pet detectives, can you feel it? Can you feel it? That's how it feels sometimes. Can you feel it? I guarantee you're making more doing this right now than at your 9 to 5. Now, when you add in your 9 to 5 and you get all this, you're like, oh my God, this is so fun. Let's see. Cooter, the disabled veteran. Thank you. This is Crypto Cooter, isn't it? Now it's Cooter, the disabled veteran. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor and for your service. And also for the $11 donation. That is super generous. Especially being in Tom's Army already. Like, holy crap. Do I like AMP or Data more? I don't have to make that decision. I own them both. I don't like to do I like this better than that. Honestly. I have 150,000 Data tokens. Maybe a little bit more. But I think they're both in a very similar setup. Look where Data's at. Look where AMP's at. I would say that's almost mirroring itself. Identically, if I'm being honest. That's like mirroring it. So, it's not, I don't think it's more about which one you like better. Like, in these rotations, it's kind of what project do you appreciate. Like, if you're on board with Data and just because you've seen me say that, and you're going to buy AMP instead, or that's the question, I would stick with your initial choice. I like Data a lot. It's an IoT. It's Data Streamer. I really like that token. But these are setting up in these ascending triangles, and these are technically bullish consolidations. Like, these are technically bullish consolidations. Like, it's phenomenal right now. Bob Burtner, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge, and also the $20 donation. Super generosity in this evening. Live. Super generosity. But let's read this. Oh yeah, where is Digibyte? It's not on my list right now. Digibyte. I guess it's not on the list right now. Oh yeah, I gotta put it on the other side because there was too many things on this list. I wish that Digibyte, I had a little bit more of a basis for, because I know it's about to break out. I've been covering this for a long time. Once it gets out of this blue area, it's over. I've been covering this for a very long time. So I know how long this consolidation has lasted. But yeah, big inverse head and shoulders. Just it looks like it's almost ready to break out now. You got to find a place you trust to buy it and so on and so forth. You all know my story. But I will be watching it. I wish it was on BITUNIX, but it's not. And because of the issues I had where I did not have access to $18,000 almost, I can't risk it anymore. So, and I was using their own wallet. So that's the kick in the dick. Let's see. 3,900 though, being at this level right now is awesome. Awesome. Oh yeah, Ben B. The last time we had a nice run on AMP, last year, mid-year, I believe, early to mid-year, and it went up like 250% in like a day. And it was the day after we bought it. Not saying that's going to happen right now, but when it moves, it moves. AMP's been known. It sits back, dumps, but then when it moves, it doesn't just move 20%. It usually moves several 100% when it's ready. So your assessment is at 100% accurate. But I do love data. I do love data. It's been beaten down for so long that I think, you know, I think it's going to do similar to what we've seen MXC and ZBEC and those do. But we got to read this news. I'll show you the Bitcoin dominance real quick, and then that'll be enough for the charts. And then we got to read that news about what happened. But yeah, bear flag. We've already had this set up for Bitcoin dominance out of the rising channel. And in the overall pattern, it's in a bearish pennant. And it's all-time pattern. So a lot of downside potential here. And at the same time, Ethereum's taking some of the money. Inflows are stronger with Ethereum. This is a good sign. These are all good signs right now. But the news of the day, and then I'm going to let you go because I want to go play with my son. And be respectful. I know there's 200 people here, but, you know, I want to play with my son's special needs, and he looks forward to seeing his dad. And we do what we do. So here's what we got to read. SEC Ripple to end legal battle as both parties abandon appeals, leaving XRP ruling intact. One of the crypto industry's most significant legal battles appears to have wound down, with lawyers for the Securities and Exchange Commission and for Ripple Labs jointly agreeing to drop their appeals in the Second Circuit. Each party agreed to bear its own costs and fees. According to the joint stipulation of dismissal, which was filed on Thursday, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse had previously announced his firm's intention to drop its cross appeal, saying in June, "We're closing this chapter once and for all and focusing on what's most important, building the Internet of Value." With both parties abandoning their appeals, Judge Annalisa Torres' 2023 mixed ruling will stand as the final judgment in the case. Judge Torres ruled that hundreds of millions of dollars of XRP sold to institutional investors were unlawful security sales, but took Ripple's side on blind bid sales to retail investors. The price of XRP rose over 7% on the news, according to the block's XRP price page from about 304 to 327 at time of publication. So that's basically what we know. We're going to know a lot more once this is finalized, but it does appear to be valid. So now we're looking to have a close and stay over 3,860. We've given ourselves a lot of room here, and that's what I want you all to pay attention to. I'm going to go hang out with my son. Not just because he's special needs, but, you know, you put more of an emphasis on it when your kids, you know, and he's nonverbal and things like that, but he was really, really, really looking forward to spending some time. So we're going to go spend some time. Be safe, everybody. Be blessed, and thank you all so much.